Hello, I am Ngamisile Pamela Ngubane, and this is the Entity Dynamics podcast. Entity Dynamics is a culture development consultancy where we believe that culture creates behavior and behavior creates reality. So, the title of this video is We Are the Ones We've Been Waiting For. So, this is now I can't remember the person who said these words, but anyway, obviously a very wise person who was saying that, whatever crises or issues that we have in this world, in our lives, in our societies, whatever, we are the ones who have the capacity and the wherewithal to find the solutions and to deal with our issues. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, we have been sort of indoctrinated into this idea that someone else from outside of us, from another dimension, from heaven, must come and save the day. And then, everything will be perfect. But it's like obviously not happening. It hasn't happened. And if you look at history, every time anything has changed, it's because human beings have decided to make a change. And so the reality is that we, in every generation, are the ones, as human beings, who are the ones who are going to bring about the change. And I think right now, humanity is at a point where the change has to happen at the roots of the issue. It's no longer going to work for us to make superficial changes to the situation. It's no longer going to work for us to deal with symptoms and manage symptoms. We have to deal with the root cause of issues. And like, before I continue, I actually just really also want to send a thank you to all those people out there who are seeking to deal with the root cause of things by getting to the truth of the matter, by getting to the spiritual reasons for things happening in this world, and not being satisfied with the answers that they get and digging for answers until they're satisfied. And those people have been through it. They've had family members, friends, relatives, classmates, workmates ridiculing them, ostracizing them. Some of them have lost their lives, from the whistleblower who exposes corruption in government institutions to the kid at Sunday school who's asking hard questions about the nature of God and the universe and the soul, to the woman who refuses to succumb to family and peer pressure to stay in an abusive relationship. These are the people who are dealing with life by recognizing their capacity to make a difference to this world. And on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, there are people spreading truth. I'm sure they are ridiculed on a daily basis by the people who should be supporting them. But I just want to say thank you to you, because if it wasn't for you people, I wouldn't have the courage to seek to be my own authentic self, and to do what I believe I came to this planet to do. You guys are doing it, and you're giving all of us the courage to do it. And I really hope that at some point in your own lives, if those people aren't already there, that you will have people who see you for the truly magnificent spiritual being that you are, and that they will affirm you and support you and help you, and that they will also shield you from all the people who want to come around and be detractors and naysayers and who seek to discourage you, because either they are too afraid to heal their own brokenness and too afraid to step out of the comfort zone of belonging to institutions, whether political, social, or economic, that are actually benefiting from the ignorance of humanity. So shout out to you. Thank you so much for what you're doing. May you be blessed and rewarded for your sacrifice, because you've sacrificed a lot of comfort. You've had to dig deep and heal the trauma that you have suffered your whole lives for being different, for refusing to accept the narrative that you've been told, and for refusing that this is how things are going to be. And I just think for us, the rest of us, the if we are grateful to these people, what we need to do, one of the things to show gratitude, is to actually emulate them, to also seek the truth, so that we support the momentum that they have been building and the ones before us have built up, and that they are carrying on, to also pick up our torch and shine this light of truth into the world, so that they're not alone, so that so that the weight of this much needed transformation of human consciousness, this much needed elevation of human consciousness, does not fall only on their shoulders, so that it becomes a cultural movement across the planet to seek the truth, and to seek within us the courage to accept the truth. Because, when you get into the rabbit hole of seeking the truth, you will encounter periods where you experience cognitive dissonance, where you have to accept that some of the most fundamental truths, or foundational truths that are fundamental to your identity as a human being, are being questioned and are being overturned. Where things that you honestly believed in, and not even things that are like hardcore, but things that appeared to be quite benign, quite irrelevant, are shown to be fundamentally wrong. It's a thing, and they've been through that. They've been through that. They've had to face a complete turnover of their reality, and they did it, and they persisted, for us, so that we can have our consciousness raised, so that we can know about what's going on behind the scenes, know about things like loosh harvesting. I never heard about the concept of loosh harvesting until I watched some YouTube video of this lady who was talking about loosh, and I was like, what the hell? And it directly correlates to the Matrix, when Morpheus says that a human being has been turned into a battery. But it's not, so the Matrix is obviously a metaphor, but what's actually happening is that the energy of human beings is being harvested, so that's why there's constantly drama on this planet. There's constantly some crisis going on. The crises and the drama happen because, yes, they are the people who are benefiting, for example, selling weapons of war. But behind that, there's even something more insidious that's happening. And it's that the negative emotions that are generated by war and conflict are actually feeding evil that exists within certain people and entities. And like I said in a video before, that when a narcissist makes you angry and you react angrily, you actually feed the evil that lives within them. So there's evil that's feeding on human beings. But, the reality is, our fear of that is not going to make it go away. There's nothing that you can do to satisfy. There's no amount of compliance that you can do to satisfy that evil. So the only thing you can actually do is to use your free will that is given to you by the source of creation, to use that free will to say, I don't agree with my energy being harvested. I am opting out of what has happened in human history that has put us in a position where we have agreed to be harvested for our energy. Simple things like that go a long way. Just like I said in my video about a culture of expressing thank you, simply saying, I no longer allow my energy to be harvested. I no longer allow myself to be moved by the shenanigans happening in the media that are there to elicit anger in us, elicit sadness in us. You know what I mean? And we start to recreate something new. We can do simple things like, for example, let's say you need someone's service. Let's try bartering for things so that we are no longer interacting with the financial system just in that one moment, and then as those moments grow, then we start to move away from it. Let's say, for example, no longer will I seek to be elected into elected office in order to help my community. I'm just going to help them. I'm just going to help the people that I help without needing a position. So now we're disengaging from this corrupt political system. You know what I mean? No longer will I think I need to go to an institution to connect to my creator. I'm just going to start to connect with the creator who lives within me. And in this way, we support these people, and we also support the trajectory of human freedom on earth. Thank you.